Hi everyone, how are you doing today? Hope you're all doing well. I know this is a little bit different, isn't it? I thought I would change it up a little bit. I have really been into my knitting a lot, and so instead of just not having a Stitch With Me video, I thought I would just go ahead and have a conversation with you and do a little bit of knitting while we had it. So feel free to do whatever crafting you like to do. I know many of you are probably stitching or diamond painting. Some of you might be knitting your socks or doing some of that other, doing some other knitting. So feel free to do whatever you'd like to do. I think what I'm going to start doing from now on is calling these Craft With Me videos, and that way I'm not tied down to doing one specific type of activity, because I am really just wanting to not feel pressure to do a certain type of thing all the time. So I have been doing some stitching, and not much, but I think since the beginning of the year I've maybe stitched 3 or 4 days total, which is very unusual for me, but I've really been drawn into my knitting, and but I am starting to get the urge to get back into my stitching, and I think that's helping with changing up what I've been working on. So you will see that in my updates whenever I show my updates. Today, because I'm knitting, I figured instead of doing a first-person point of view, let's just hang and you can see what I'm doing from your perspective, and I can talk with you and look at you and just have a conversation. So I am working on my sweater vest using my Nina's hand-dyed yarn. It's alpaca wool blend called Icarus. This is the yarn. I'm currently working up the back panel of the sweater. So this is a bottom-up sweater vest. I'm now currently on the back panel of the sweater. So this is the back panel. I've done the decreases around the arms, and I'm working on the back. So I just heard, not that, I think right when I started talking, that my coffee was ready. So you guys go ahead and continue working. I'm going to go grab my coffee. Let me do one thing here real quick, just to make it so autofocus does not keep playing around. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go grab my coffee. Feel free to go grab a drink yourself or a snack. I'll be right back. It's right around that corner. And I'm back. Told you it would be quick. Okay, so as you can see, I don't have a very big house. I live in a small one-bedroom apartment, which is perfect for me. I don't need a lot of space, and it's not much space for me to accumulate goods. Okay, let's grab this back up again. This is the perfect activity to be working on while I'm talking to you because it's basic repetitive rows, and it's not a lot of thinking that I have to do. So I'm able to really just knit and talk. So we are already halfway through January. It's hard to believe that we are practically halfway through January already. Time is flying by. And I know many of you have really been missing my videos, and I'm hoping to get back into the regular routine of videos here going forward. So that is why I'm really thinking about the way that I do my videos and ensuring that I make video. You're probably going to see some changes in my videos, and that's okay because, you know, as channels age and progress, they evolve, and I think I'm at a stage where I need to evolve a bit. I'm going to move this over here a bit just so I can get position here. And I think for me, and I know I talk about this on my confessions videos a lot, but I don't personally get to talk about it because we're talking about the other channels. So for me, I think I'm at a stage where I need to evolve a bit in my channel and what I'm offering out there to you patrons of my channel. So going forward, at least through 2019, I think we're going to see some changes in the content that I'm putting out there. Not drastic changes, but I do think I'm going to be putting out some different videos, just changing it up a bit. Again, I think we're going to see a little bit more knitting. Don't worry, cross stitch is still going to be prevalent and relevant in my channel because cross stitch is still my #1 love. Knitting I do love. I think they're really going to be tied for. I think they're going to be a tied craft, but I use them in different ways. I think a lot of people do that whenever they have multiple hobbies. For me, I love my knitting whenever I'm out of the house. So if I'm in a long car ride and I'm not driving, I can take my knitting with me, and I always make sure I have something easily. I lately, I've been ensuring that I either have a sock ready to go, like just cast on, or that I cast on right before I go on a trip, or that I'm before I leave the house to go to my friend's house when I know I'm going to be there for a substantial amount of time. Like tonight, I'm going over to watch the football game, so I'm going to be taking my sock knitting because that is something that I can definitely do while I'm at the house there watching the football game because I can't sit still and watch TV. So, but taking my cross stitch is a lot more cumbersome and complicated. So, by being able to have knitting, it's a much more versatile hobby to carry around with me. I do envy those of you who take cross stitching with you in your travels, such as like on the trains for your daily rush hour commute and stuff. I don't know how you do it. I think well, for one thing, you'd be working on smaller projects, I'm sure, than the type of projects that I typically work on. So, okay. But so I think that is one thing, that is where the knitting and the cross stitch are different but equal. So I'm able to appreciate and love both of them equally, but with different regard. My cross stitch is definitely much more of a whenever I'm here at home by myself, relaxing, watching TV in the morning when I wake up on Saturday, or when I'm home after work and I just want to relax and unwind. I definitely do a lot more of my stitching. But then I also, after a certain amount of time, I've noticed that I start to pick up my knitting as well. Like late at night, I will pick up my knitting instead of continuing on stitching throughout the remainder of the night. You might notice whenever I do a purl row, I might have to focus a little bit more just because it's a little bit more, I don't purl nearly as frequently as I knit. Do the knit stitch, so I have to focus a little bit more closely on my purls. Just a little bit more tedious for me. So since the beginning of the year, I have really been focusing on just some of my, like, I think I discussed this in my update video a little bit about just some of my personal goals and resolutions that I made for 2019. One of them being is that I'm trying to eat a little bit healthier and watch what I eat. And so this year I got an Instant Pot and I'm absolutely loving it. I've made some meals that I've really enjoyed and surprised that I'm actually able to make food that tastes that good and is that simple to make. And so if you currently have an Instant Pot and have some recipes you absolutely love and have an easy, like have a website or something that you can find them on, that if they're free web recipes, I would love to know where some of your favorite recipes that you use in your Instant Pot. Just because I'm just starting to learn, learn about the Instant Pot and the different types of recipes you can do in the Instant Pot. So far, I've made chicken cacciatore and Korean spare ribs. And today, I think I'm going to make some refried beans for a side dish. So I have that in the fridge that I can easily pull out. And so I'm really enjoying, I guess for me, it's been, in the last, probably since I moved into this apartment, I really have not been, I've never really cooked much. And I used to love cooking. So it's really finding my love of cooking back, like reinvigorating myself to cooking. And I think the Instant Pot is definitely going to help me with that because honestly, here, people, I'd rather be stitching than cooking or knitting. So if I can have shortcuts to easier, simpler ways to cook healthy and to still have good tasting food that's not too expensive, because I think that's the other thing. Whenever when one person lives alone, it's kind of expensive to cook by yourself because till you buy all the ingredients, it's just cheaper to go out and to buy the food. To go and to just get fast food or to go out to eat because it ends up being cheaper. So I'm really trying to learn how to cook smarter for living by myself. So yes, if you have any recipes that you love that you use in the Instant Pot, I have a 6 quart. Is it a 6 quart? I have the medium size Instant Pot. So I would love to hear from you. So feel free to put a link in the comments or send me a message on Instagram or an email. I definitely would love to know what you cook in your Instant Pots if you have one. So today I went to bed last night and I think I went to bed at, I'm filming this on Sunday. So this is Sunday at just after 11 o'clock in the morning. And we went, I went to bed last night around, I think it was 10:30, 11 o'clock. And we were just starting to get some snow here in New Jersey, Winter Storm Gia or whatever they're calling this one. And but we're not supposed to get very much snow today. But I woke up this morning and I think we had about an inch of snow, maybe an inch, maybe a little bit more than an inch. I don't know, somewhere right around an inch. And it's continuing to snow. I'm looking out the window, and it's continuing to snow a little bit as I chat here, but nothing too substantial. This is only the second time it's snowed here in New Jersey this year, this winter, and it's already in the middle of January. So it's been a crazy winter. Usually we have a lot more snow by now. Last time it snowed was in November, It's been surprisingly warm and rainy for a winter. Or I shouldn't say warm. I guess the correct term would be mild and rainy. But I think the snow has been going a lot more south this year than up in our area. But we are supposed to be getting, I don't know, maybe another inch today. Nothing that's going to be shutting down the world. But I went to church this morning and we had very few turnout today just because I guess because it was only our second winter storm and people were just hesitant to go out in the snow. I have been watching. I will be honest, I have not been on social media as much lately, and I definitely have not made my presence known in the Facebook group or on Instagram very much, just because I haven't been doing much crafting at all lately. I'm hoping to change that here very soon, but I have been seeing some of your posts about working on some of my designs that either you purchased during my sale in December or that you've had in your stash from purchasing earlier in the year last year, and I'm really excited to watch how you are all stitching up the designs that I created last year, and I'm super excited to be working on some new designs that I'm hoping to be releasing here in the coming months and then throughout the summer. That is one thing that I continue to work on, even though I'm not really stitching a whole lot. And maybe that's why I'm not stitching a whole lot, is because my mind is also elsewhere on designing and creating new designs. So that is something, I definitely am trying to build up my catalog of designs, I guess we could call it, and we'll be releasing throughout the spring here. So that is exciting, and more info on that to come here soon. I will be releasing part 3 of Stories of the North this week. I believe Caroline mentioned to me that she had mentioned that it was already released, but it has not been released yet. It will be released this week. And then I'll be releasing parts 4 and 5 throughout the spring. So those will be scattered throughout the spring for release, and as well as many other designs that I'm currently in process of designing. And on top of all of that, I'm taking college courses this semester. So I'm going to be staying very, very busy uh, this this spring with work and going back to school for a couple courses. Not the doctorate that I was working on before, but some courses for another certification program that I need to finish for my job. And so I have to get a few courses under my belt. And so I'll be taking a couple courses this semester, and hopefully that won't take up too much of my time, that I will still be able to focus on my knitting and designing and cross stitch. So we will see. But it typically would not be me if it wasn't if I would not feel comfortable if I wasn't staying super busy. So I like to stay busy and constantly going, and always at least being active with something, even if even if it's just sitting at home on the couch knitting or stitching, I'm still being productive and busy and active. So to me, that's busy. Just purling here a little bit. So I know the deadline. I believe the deadline for the sock, Learn to Knit Sock with Us giveaway is fast approaching. So I believe it's the end of January, but I could be wrong. If you are still interested in joining that group, we're always chatting in the Facebook group on in the Facebook group. I'm purling, so that's why I'm struggling with sentences right now. But there is a skein of sock yarn that's available if you complete. I believe the rules are that you have to complete one full pair of socks and post in the Facebook group that the Learn to Knit Socks with Us Facebook group for your chance to enter that giveaway. uh, I have to say that I love that yarn. I've knit 2 pairs of socks now with that yarn. I knit a pair for myself, and I knit the Rose City rollers for my mom, which were the short ankle socks, and they turned out very nice. So definitely, if you're still interested, there's still time. You can, knit like me and knit super fast and get a pair of socks done in time for the giveaway. I believe there's still time. I think it's the end of January. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain that you still have time. So go check that out if you're still interested. And the videos are always available on Caroline's channel, Off the Grid Needle Arts. If you're ever wanting to learn how to knit. So there's never an excuse for not wanting or not knowing how to knit, because I learned through Caroline from those videos, and they were super helpful, super easy, and I learned everything I needed to learn from her. And now if I have questions, all I do is either message her or I ask my brother, because he knits as well. But there's always people, and if you join the Facebook group for learning how to knit socks and you have a non-sock related question, I'm sure people would be willing to answer your question. And the Fiber Friends also have a Facebook group similar to the Friday Off the Grid group, that is for just knitting updates and posts and stuff. And you could easily ask any of your questions in that group as well. So there is a wide range of places where you can get help if you have any concerns or questions or anxieties around knitting. So definitely seek out that help if you are hesitant or unsure of yourself for knitting, because it's a lot of fun and it's easy. It's not something to be afraid of. So with that, I think I'm going to end this video this week. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I hope you enjoy these the new format of my videos. Again, every week could vary as far as if it's going to be stitching or knitting or diamond painting or whatever other crafting I'm up to for the week. It just depends, and hopefully you enjoy it, and it's perfectly, well, it's going to be what it is anyways, because that's what I'm going to make. But I hope you all enjoy it. And with that, you all have a wonderful week. I will see you on my next video, and don't forget to always be creative.